My name's Alex Carr-Saperstein and I am the Durham Heritage Coast manager. So I manage the partnership, which includes organisations like National Trust, Durham Wildlife Trust, Durham County Council, who host the partnership, and local representatives, all who've got an interest in managing the conservation of our heritage coast. One of the elements of my job is being a National Trail Officer for the Tyne-Wear T stretch of the England Coast Path. So the Durham Heritage Coast stretches from just north of Hartlepool, a place called Crimdon, which has a lovely sandy beach and dunes, and it goes up to Ryup, which is just south of Sunderland. It's a fairly short stretch, it's about 11 miles. East Durham had a number of coal mines in the past. Coal mining industry was so important for the area, and as a result of that there was huge environmental degradation that happened, and millions and millions of tons of mining waste were dumped on the beaches and into the sea. In about late 1990s, early 2000s, there was a big project called Turning the Tide, and that was a big partnership effort to clear up our coastline and to restore the natural environment in our area. So the Species Survival Fund is a Defra funded project administered through the National Lottery Heritage Fund. And we applied for it because it's like the next stage in this journey of restoring, conserving, creating new habitat along our coast.
My name is Michael Byrne and I'm the Coastal Grasslands Reconnected Manager, and that's funded by the Species Survival Fund. So this area is a very special area as it has some very rare magnesium limestone habitats. And this is actually the only place in the world where this type of geology can actually be found on the coast. So the aim of the project is to restore and create wildflower-rich magnesian limestone grasslands. The aim is to improve connectivity all along our coast to connect woodland deans and all of the grasslands together. So the Coastal Grasslands Reconnected project covers from here at Blackhall Rocks all the way up to Noses Point, and Warren House, which will be named Tina's Haven, fits right in the middle. And it's that missing piece of the jigsaw for connectivity. We now need to turn that back into these type of habitats. So you've got that linear connectivity all the way up the coast. What that means is that wildlife that are traveling up and down there, for seed dispersal as well, it's really important. But also again for walking along there so that people can see that habitat all the way along the coastline as they're walking up. And we're looking at covering about 213 hectares of land, which is what we want to restore back to its natural grasslands.
Yeah, my name is Eric Wilton. I'm General Manager for National Trust and I look after a portfolio called Derwent Weir and Coast. This is a long-standing partnership. You've got to start right back from the beginning, from Turning the Tide in 2000. So we've been in partnership on the Durham coast for 25 years. We're at Warren House field, which will soon be called Tina's Haven. So it's been an arable field for many years and people have walked alongside it but not been able to walk around it or through it. So part of the work we're doing will be planting 21,500 trees. We'll be restoring meadows, restoring ponds, creating wetlands, creating wood pasture. So it's a real mix of habitats which will greatly improve the outcomes for nature as a whole. And then the kind of second piece to that is how we connect right across the landscape. So we literally own the top of the cliff on this land and the coastal path, but we didn't own the field. And what this means is that by owning this field, it joins up our land ownership, north and south, but it also enables us to utilise the opportunity of rollback, create more space for nature, but as the cliff erodes, which is inevitable, it's happening as we speak, we're able to move that coast path back and support National Trails UK and National Trails as a whole to make sure that people always have access as close to the cliff as possible in a safe way. And then thirdly, we've connected with a lady called Sue Robson, and she lost her daughter in 2020, and we're working directly with Sue and about 23 partners to include women that suffer from addiction in helping us to create this site and plant this site. This site is all about recovery, recovery for nature, but also recovery for people, which is really, really important. And people and the community having that direct link with this site will help this site to thrive and grow and look after it for the future as well.
Hello, I'm Mark Walker. I'm a walk leader for Move County Durham, leading free wellbeing walks on behalf of the community here on the lovely coastline in County Durham. So my history with leading walks in the area, I'm actually ex-military, so getting out into the countryside with a pack on my back, leading people is kind of in my DNA. And then when I left the forces, I thought, well, this is something that I enjoy and I want to spread it to others. And I lead walks inland, on the coast, in the daytimes and on summer's evenings as well, taking up to 40 people in groups to enjoy this beautiful, wondrous stretch. It's such a positive way of increasing their well-being, of feeling connected with nature and with other people around them. So in 1991, when the pit closed, this place was effectively a wasteland. The way down onto this beautiful beach, Blast Beach behind me, was just made of the slag from the coal waste. The beach behind was completely black. It was an eerie place to be, albeit it was good for our economy. It really marred our coastline. But 30 plus years of sustained investment and hard work by various agencies have seen a complete transformation of this coastline into the tourist haven and nature haven that it is today.
I'm Kate Jury, the Coastal Wildbelt Programme Manager at National Trails UK. So Coastal Wildbelt is a new national initiative for people and nature along our dynamic coast. And we exist to unlock the potential of the King Charles III England Coast Path and the newly designated coastal margin that falls from the path down to the sea out at low tide, and seeing what we can do when we think on a grand, big landscape scale to unlock people and nature opportunities for projects just like Coastal Grasslands Reconnected up here today. And we're really excited to be here and see how, from building on an existing partnership, we can have really great impacts on a much bigger scale than has been seen before. And that's why funding is so important for these kind of projects, so that they can unlock what's needed to allow more people to enjoy our dynamic coast all around England.
If anyone's thinking about doing something like this in the future, then I think my key bit of advice would be to think multidisciplinary. We're not just about the nature conservation, we're not just about the access, we're thinking about the people and how people use it and looking at legacy in the longer term. I also think though that having different voices is so important. The work that the National Trust is doing at Tina's Haven is a prime example of that. So it's how other people reflect and engage with nature and what it means for them.